Well, it's funny because it feels like we're back. I mean, I know we were sort of in the pandemic years and then the post-pandemic years, but now people don't want to talk about the pandemic. They don't want to talk about Brexit. They are forward-looking, and that's really refreshing to me. We have the biggest crowd we've had in a number of years, I think close to 1,500 people. So there's a good vibe, a lot of excitement here in London. I think what I've also picked up is that the London community may not get together as much as they used to. And so IDX has become a real focal point for them to gather, to see each other, to see old friends. And that for us is really rewarding to see that excitement and happiness and the deals that may be happening. And it's been a good week. Well, here in Europe, I mean, we're still dealing with the breaking apart of both the financial center here in London with the economy of the EU. And so, UK is busy writing its own independent laws now to reflect that independence. And the EU is still trying to figure out how it can attract the capital markets and build its own capital markets. So there's a lot of that still in the pipes, that we're working through with our members. I think for FIA, our big theme is to make sure that people have access to markets globally and there aren't impediments. So as we deal with regulators, whether that's here in the UK or in the EU, that's always going to be a constant theme is customers are everywhere and markets are everywhere. Let's make sure that there are sound regulations everywhere as well so that people have the same user experience when they go to a marketplace, and also the expectation that the markets are safe, their money is in custody and stored and segregated and all those things. So that's really our goal as a global trade association. I'm not sure there's one single topic. It was great to have the global co-head of trading for BlackRock yesterday and to hear how some of the users of the markets are experiencing derivatives. And it's a really positive story. I think, in a time of interest rates being higher than they have been for many years, volatility in the commodity markets, our markets are really needed right now. They're really relevant. And to help people to deal with that volatility, if you're General Motors or if you're an energy company, you don't want to have to deal with foreign currency risk. You don't want to have to deal with the risk of oil going up or down. You want to deal with making sure that you can deliver your product to your customers, and our markets help with that. So to me, it is a great time to be in our industry, and again, we're incredibly relevant now. We're doing something in Houston, which is exciting. This is something we've done a few years now, but again, trying to get to the end user of our markets. So we have some of the big oil firms that are going to be there, and even some of the agricultural commodity firms will be in attendance. This is a commodity-focused event down in Houston in September, so we're looking forward to that. Next week, in fact, we have one event here in Germany, in Leipzig, Germany, really dealing again with commodities. This has been a strategic focus for us, even though we are very strong in some of the financials and some of the other products, really trying to gear some of our efforts to the traditional commodity firms that really were here at the start of our markets. And so we're really trying to focus and give them some events so that they have a voice. Two things that always really makes me happy at FIA is part of it feels like a family when we come here, and two individuals that are part of that story. One is Mark Spanbrook, who is retiring after 30 years in our industry, but the last 11 as part of FIA's EPTA and our chair at EPTA. So we had a great session this morning to wish Mark well, and he just had a fascinating story of being a part of the evolution between floor trading to electronic, and also helping to grow that part of our industry. But also Robbert Booij, who is wearing the kilt this year at our Futures for Kids event, our gala that raises funds for kids charities here in London and globally. So Robbert has raised more than 20,000 pounds for that cause. And so it's going to be fun tonight to get all the ex-kilt wearers on stage and to wish Robbert well. Our industry is so fortunate, and for us to give back to the community is really important. So at FIA, we do that at every one of our conferences, and it's a really proud moment to be able to help others through the FIA efforts.
you.